Hi, I'm John Fuller, Director of Virginia United Methodist Pensions, which is also known as VUMPI. VUMPI is the Virginia Conference agency that administers the denominational pension plans and clergy benefit plans for clergy of the Virginia Conference. At each year's annual conference, VUMPI presents several recommendations for conference consideration. We wanted to prepare this video overview of the recommendations that would be presented at this year's annual conference. As was described in a prior video, a clergy benefits task force with representation from across the conference's leadership worked throughout 2024 to evaluate several aspects of the current conference-sponsored clergy benefit programs. Several recommendations emerged from the work of that task force and will now be presented by VUMPI for the conference's approval. Recommendations originating in the task force include the adoption of the VIA Benefits Retiree Medical Program for all clergy retiring in or after 2026, with conference health reimbursement account funding based on years of full-time ministry in the Virginia Conference. This recommendation was reviewed in greater detail in a prior video, so I would encourage you to watch that video if you would like some additional information. The VIA Benefits Program, which has partnered with Westpath, has been adopted by 28 other annual conferences and presents an opportunity for the Virginia Conference to establish a more sustainable plan with expanded plan choice. The recommended conference health reimbursement contributions are designed to match the value of the conference subsidy in the current health plan that's been in place since 2016, ranging from $100 per month for clergy with 15 to 19 years of full-time conference ministry to $250 per month for clergy with 30 or more years of full-time conference ministry. I will note that VUMPI's recommendation includes grandfathering eligibility for the current retiree health plan for all clergy retiring prior to 2026, although those clergy will have the option to transition to the VIA Benefits Program. VUMPI is also recommending the termination of retiree health plan eligibility and conference supplemental life insurance eligibility for any retirees who withdraw from the UMC after the end of 2025. This recommendation emerged from the Clergy Benefits Task Force, and I would like to stress that it is not at all intended to be punitive. Rather, this is based on administrative challenges that have been identified over the past couple of years. While a number of retired clergy did withdraw from the UMC during the era in which churches had the opportunity to disaffiliate from the conference, the expectation is that nearly all, if not all, retired clergy who were considering the possibility of withdrawal have already done so. If that is accurate, these recommendations may not have a significant impact, but the magnitude of the administrative challenges that have been observed led to the task force's encouragement that these changes be recommended. One more recommendation that emerged from the task force is the closure of the current PPO 500 health plan to new enrollment beginning in 2026. That plan has only been made available to clergy receiving disability benefits and surviving spouses and children of clergy. While the plan was originally intended to be slightly more generous than the active clergy health plans, it was determined that the unique plan design of the PPO 500 plan occasionally results in an adverse financial impact to its members, along with heightened potential for administrative confusion. VUMPI is recommending that the current PPO health plan members be grandfathered and allowed to remain enrolled in that plan, but that beginning in 2026, all clergy granted disability benefits and all newly eligible surviving spouses and children of clergy be offered enrollment in the plans made available to active clergy at active clergy rates. Several other recommendations are coming directly from VUMPI. As is the case every year, VUMPI will be recommending next year's participant contributions for the conference-sponsored health plans. For 2026, VUMPI is recommending contributions that reflect on average an increase of about 5%. VUMPI did evaluate the plan contributions and actual plan costs in detail, and several of the recommended participant contributions actually reflect a decrease from current contributions. The specific recommended contributions for each plan and each enrollment category will be detailed in the Book of Reports. VUMPI is also recommending an increase in the pre-82 pension plan's past service rate, or PSR. The PSR is a factor in that pension plan's benefit formula, and each year VUMPI recommends an increase so that benefits can better keep up with increases in the cost of living. For 2026, VUMPI is recommending a PSR of $659, which reflects an increase of about 5.3% over the current year's PSR. VUMPI'S next recommendation involves the billing methodology for the Comprehensive Protection Plan, which is the denominational life and disability insurance plan. VUMPI is recommending that churches be billed 4.4% of clergy compensation in 2026, which is simply a continuation of the billing methodology that has been in place for more than a decade. The next two recommendations pertain to the new denominational retirement savings plan, the Compass Plan, which is being launched in 2026. VUMPI is first recommending that the plan's automatic features include automatic enrollment of 4% of compensation, automatic escalation of 1% per year, with a cap on automatic escalation of 10% of compensation. The next recommendation involves the way VUMPI will bill churches for Compass contributions. The specific recommendation is to bill for the precise clergy contribution with the full 4% match, even if clergy opt out of automatic enrollment. I will note that both the automatic features and the recommended billing methodology are consistent with the recommendations from Westpath, which is our denominational pension agency. Finally, VUMPI is recommending the conference's approval of the resolution pertaining to the clergy housing exclusion in 2026. For our conference's active and retired clergy to be able to take advantage of the housing exclusion offered within the Internal Revenue Code, a resolution must be approved at each year's annual conference. I hope that this information is helpful to you as you prepare for annual conference. If you have any questions about any of these recommendations, please don't hesitate to call or email me at 804-521-1128 or at johnfuller@vaumc.org.